Hello everyone and welcome to the Triumph series. I'm Miss Simmin Bawa, Head of Department Philosophy, Jai Hind College. Besides teaching philosophy for over a decade now, I'm also a holistic healer. My specializations are theta healing, radical healing, crystal healing and meditations of various kinds. Today, I choose a very interesting, a contemporary topic which is very essential from the realm of mental health, which is mindful meditation. Mindfulness is the ability of controlling what is happening to you, especially in your mental realm, without getting carried over by it. Very often, we start thinking about something and then the mind wanders, and you end up thinking something else, wondering where did I start from? This happens very often to a lot of us, and sometimes people miss getting off at their bus stops or railway stations because they are not mindful. So what does this mindful meditation mean? Let's break it up into two, mindful and meditation. Meditation is very often looked upon as some kind of a religious practice where there is something mystical happening, or there is God realization, self-realization, etc. From the point of view of mental health, it is a very secular practice whereby it is meant for a believer, non-believer, etc. It's just one of those techniques which can help you to make your life very, very wholesome and holistic. It's a secular practice. It is an age-old practice which actually started in the eastern part of the world. Some of the greatest sages have known to have meditated for months together. It is a very simple technique which looks upon the one pointed focal element of one's mental realm. One has to note that here we have to control our thoughts and not let the thoughts control us. One can focus on anything, and some of these techniques you shall see in the later part of the video. What is mindfulness? The very term mindfulness is mind and fullness. Mind is this entire spectrum which has your thoughts, feelings, emotions and memories, a whole lot of them. Being mindful means mindful, where the mind is full of only itself, and this fullness is about being in the present. It's about being in the now. Very often we think, and some of the things that we think about is the past and the future. When I think of the past, there are a lot of memories that keep popping up. These memories could be painful. Some of the pleasurable memories could also be painful because they have come to an end. This gives me some amount of negativity, sadness, and sometimes even depression. Very often the mind keeps building castles in the air. It's about the future, which gives me a lot of anxiety. And somewhere between this tussle of past and the future, I forget to live in my present. I forget to live in my now, which is the most important. Believe me, if you just somehow manage to get rid of these two sides, when you focus on the now, you actually have a lot more mental time, space and energy for making a better now, which can culminate into a better future and give you better memories of the past. People have often asked me, for whom is it? In New Age schools, it is being taught from grade 2. It's just about telling the child, do not lose your focus and be present in whatever is happening, and be present in a very wholesome manner. Young, old, etc. Today, a lot of corporates have begun to incorporate the practice of mindful meditation. A lot of sports stars, where there's so much of anxiety, so much of stress that they go through. It's for everywhere. Another question very often asked to me is, when do we do it? Some say early morning, 4 o'clock, or afternoon, night. The time is right when you are ready for it. And believe me, it doesn't take more time. It takes only about 5 to 10 minutes. What place do I do it in? Any place which gives you little space, solitude and silence for a little time. Some people have confided in me that during working hours, when the stress levels are very high or the mind is not able to focus, they go to the washroom and they meditate for 5 minutes. It's about you choosing your space. Very often, I've been asked that when I meditate in a group, the entire scenario is so different as compared to being with myself. So, what company do I keep? It doesn't matter, because ultimately, at the end of the day, it is about you having the company of yourself. What kind of clothes do I wear? Anything. It doesn't matter. One of the questions is, it's very boring. Well, it can get very interesting, and some of the techniques will be taught to all of you in some time. You choose what is boring and what is not. The choice always lies within you. Mindful meditation has a lot of benefits. At the physical level, it's known to boost immunity. People suffering from high blood pressure have often said that it has helped them lower it. It helps in a lot of disorders. It helps one to just calm oneself. A lot of people have said that their pain, the amount of pain that they're going through just lowers. Physically, the benefits are immense. You get a control over your own nerves. Nervous people find mindful meditation extremely helpful. Emotionally, it bonds you with yourself. You will see that your relationship with yourself improves because now you're getting in touch with yourself. Your relationship with others will improve. The more you understand yourself, the better you can understand others around you. Emotionally, it makes you stronger. One of the benefits, very, very effective ones, are where you begin to start acting and not reacting. When you act, sometimes it is out of impulse and immaturity. But when you react, you're using wisdom. And that is what we are going to tap. Socially, the benefits are that your relationships on the whole will improve. Remember, it's going to make you a very positive person. And your positivity is going to attract a lot of positivity from others. It's ultimately about you and what you choose to make out of yourself. Mindful meditation has two very important key elements to it. The first one being practice, a lot of practice. People find this practice very boring, but I have seen sports stars where they just keep practicing one shot after another. I've seen people who are in the field of drawing where they keep practicing drawing lines, where they keep practicing these lines over and over again. Remember, when you were born, you did not start walking. You took baby steps one at a time after you had mastered crawling. And then after that, with every passing step, you began to get the confidence. Who motivated you there? Yes, there were many around you, but ultimate motivation comes from within. What normally happens is that when you try to focus, the mind wavers, it goes away. It gets distracted, and distraction is very natural for the mind. But the key is start over. Each time you fell down, when you tried to walk, what did one do? Stood up and started walking again. So just don't get distracted. Begin to start all over again. Many times when we make these mistakes, we begin to judge ourselves. Don't judge. You don't need to compartmentalize yourself. It's not required. You just have to stay motivated and just start all over again. You need to develop awareness. A very famous philosopher, J. Krishnamurti, said that one has to develop choiceless awareness, the awareness of the now, of the present, eliminating the past, which is unnecessary, and so are worries of the future. The second key to mindful meditation is being in the now. Please do not strain yourself, just be aware, be grounded in the present. And all of this is going to lead into something beautiful, which is the injection of physical and emotional toxins from your body. There are quite a few practices which have been doing rounds from a very long time. Basically, one needs to either sit or lie down. whatever is most comfortable and easily available to you. Be in a silent place. And some of the basic techniques start with the first one, that is, one needs to be aware of one's thoughts. Just observe them. It's a very popular practice. You're doing nothing, you're not blanking your mind. You're just simply observing your thoughts, just the way you would watch a movie in a theater, where this is you and the images are passing by. Do not react. Simply, passively observe them. In case if your mind wavers, put these thoughts in a balloon and let them float away. Just be choicelessly present in the now. Remember, the observer is the observed. Don't control your thoughts. Oh, I need to think good thoughts, bad thoughts, nothing. Just passively watch them and let them go away, pass away like a cloud or a balloon. Each time a memory pops up or something that begins to emotionally discharge a charge, just recognize them. Tell them, I recognize you. Just be aware. Let the thoughts arise. That is their job. They arise because they want attention. Give them the due attention of just recognizing them and letting them go. Do not give too much attention. Do not focus too much of your mental energy on it. It's not required. Remember, do not react. Simply watch. Recognize them. Give them their due attention and let them pass. The weight of clothes on your body. The weight of spectacles on your nose. The feeling of shoes clamping your legs. Just simple awareness of your hands, your legs. The surface on which you sit. Do not analyze, just be aware. The body weight pressing on the furniture or the floor. Just be conscious and aware. Pay attention to the sounds that you hear around you. It could be of the fan, the birds, children playing, or whatever sounds you can probably get, or whatever sounds that your ears can probably attract. Be aware of all that is happening around you. Now focus on the world within you. Be aware of your stomach, your fingers, your toes, your tummy. Be aware. Just be choicelessly aware of the changes taking place in them. Your fingers demanding movement, or the rumbling sound of hunger emanating from your stomach. This awareness is going to bring about a focal point in your body. This too is mindful awareness, where you're absolutely mindful of the world around you as well as inside you. Please do not practice both simultaneously. Choose one at a time. It's easier to go from the outer world to the inner world. Our age-old seers have taught us the technique of focusing on your breath. The famous Buddhist technique of meditation, Vipassana, actually starts with the technique I've just given you of awareness of your nose and then going on to your breath. Yoga calls your breath prana, the vital force energy which keeps you alive. So let's practice a technique around your breathing. Just pay attention, complete attention to the awareness of the nose on your face. From here, just be aware of your breath. The process of inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation, the gap and exhalation. The gap between them is important because that is where you need to focus more on. Yes, initially you would focus on the breath, wherein warm air is going out and cold air is coming in. Be aware of this air going down into different parts of your body up to your lungs, and all the air being pulled out of your lungs through exhalation. Focus on whatever suits you. The breathing practice, the gap between inhalation or exhalation, or simply awareness of your nose. Remember, each time your mind wanders, bring it back. Bring it back with a lot of love. It's okay to get distracted. What's important, the key is to bring it back and to focus in the now. Remember, your mind has to become your friend or your buddy. It's not your enemy, so do not fight any wars with it. Embrace it with love. Another technique that I'm going to teach you is focusing on an image in your mind. Very often people find it easier to just keep one image as the focal point. You could choose a symbol like the symbol of Om, swastik, cross, or you can just create a symbol, and if in case you choose to create one, create it out of love. So create a symbol and just keep passively watching at it. Just in case your mind wavers, you know what to do by now. You just have to bring it back. I'm going to share my own personal technique that has been devised by me. I very often teach my students that we all have 5 external sense organs and 1 internal. Both of them have to work in tandem and synchronicity with each other to create a better now. Well, the 5 senses are your eyes, nose, tongue, ears, and skin. And the internal organ is your mind. Remember, the raw data comes from your 5 senses which the mind collates. So I have created a module of mindful meditation out of these 5 plus 1 equal to 6. I want you to sit or lie down in a very comfortable way. Shut your eyes, because this is a very good way of letting go of external stimuli distractions. Please focus only on the awareness of your eyes. You can choose to focus on your eyelids, your eyebrows, but essentially, slowly, after being aware of your eyes, move on to the stimuli that the eye gives you. And this stimuli is the darkness. Recognize this darkness. Be aware of this darkness. And this darkness, in case if there are any symbols, anything coming up, any images, slowly recognize them. Passively observe them. Remember, do not react. Only be choicelessly aware. Be grounded in the present. Be aware of this darkness, complete darkness, and the images that accompany it. After this, move on to the sensation of your nose. Start with its awareness. And then the process of inhalation and exhalation. The gaps, the warm air being exhaled and cool air coming in. Be aware of which side of the nostril is most active, because our nostrils change the timing of the tea. One becomes more active and the other becomes passive. Just be aware of your nose, the inhalation and exhalation processes. Move on to the tongue. First and foremost, be aware of the moisture of the position of the tongue, the wriggly nature of the tongue, it being fixated somewhere and yet being flexible. Remember, it's the most flexible muscle of your body. Just mere awareness of the tongue. Remember to keep your eyes shut, and in case the mind wanders, bring it back with a lot of love. Next, we move on to the ears. Be consciously aware of their presence, their awareness. And now choose the sounds that catch your ears, the ones in your environment externally. And sometimes you can also hear sounds internally. Just be aware, completely focused. Move on to your skin. Skin is everywhere. Feel the weight of your clothes on your body, the weight of air on the exposed parts of your body. Any form of itchiness or pain or discomfort that you can feel, and even the temperature. Wow, there is so much to explore when it comes to the skin. I wonder how many of us actually pay attention to these 5 vital sense organs. We move on to the internal organ, the mind. Remember, a lot of thoughts, feelings, memories, emotions will crop up. Simply recognize it. Let each take the shape of a bubble and float away. Do not get distracted. Just simply observe them. Recognize it, give it its due attention and let it pass. Do not give too much attention to them emotionally. Let it not discharge an emotional charge. Just let it go. Remember, the key is to stay in the now. Some people choose the word NOW as a focal point. If that works for you, please do so. Remember, you just have to be there in that moment. Do not strain. Be in absolute control of your mental realm. Remember to be grounded in the present moment, in the now. If you find that you simply remembering this entire meditative technique is going to be difficult, I would advise you to record it in your own voice and on any device, whichever is most accessible to you. Only thing is, do not practice mindful meditation while driving or doing something else. Just remember to give yourself those 5 minutes which can create a lot of change within you. Once you're comfortable, after this, simply sit back. Slowly open your eyes. It's best done with your eyes closed. Any time of the day is the right time. After the practice, remember to pat yourself and thank your friend, the mind, and give it a nice tight hug. Remember, it's your friend, not your enemy. And hearty congratulations to all of you at making your attempt, for some your first attempt, at rewiring your brain for happiness. And welcome to a calmer you. Remember, this is a free gift that works as a wonderful brain tonic of mental health. That's all from me and from my end. Keep practicing mindfulness. Keep smiling. Keep being in the moment. See you another time.